My name's Chris Michael, I'm co-founder and CEO of Swytch. Swytch provides users with multiple mobile numbers on their existing device. We make it as easy to get a new mobile number as it is to get a new email address. The reason for this is because we have multiple personas in our lives, and for those different interactions we might want different contact points, and mobile being one of those. We target a variety of different users, specifically self-employed people, dating users, expats, and people that are using classified ad services. So we are able to layer ourselves on a user's existing device as a second network operator effectively. So Swytch is delivered to the end user as an app. It's a very easy sign-up process, and we're using the disruptive delivery channels such as the app stores to be able to get onto users' phones as quickly as possible. Users just download an app, within 30 seconds they can register and have access to additional mobile numbers on their existing phone that they can make and receive calls and texts through. When Swytch launched back in October last year, we got a lot of very good press coverage, and I think it's because fundamentally we are solving a real problem for people. It's not been possible to have additional mobile numbers on your existing phone in a fashion as easy as it is with Swytch. Because we're solving a very real problem for people, we've experienced great downloads, hundreds of thousands of downloads in the last year, with users around the world benefiting from having additional UK numbers. Being a startup, we face the same type of obstacles as any other startup. We have limited resources, both time and money. We also want to grow very quickly, so we need to hit those all-important KPIs nonetheless. We have to be clever in our marketing. People aren't looking for our service because they don't know our solution exists. We have to make them aware of it, we have to educate them about it. So there's a number of obstacles that we have to overcome. We do this in a clever way. We also have to be very careful about targeting our users and not wasting any opportunity or resources that we might have, and going after the most valuable users to us obviously benefits us as well as our users. I think a company can always stay relevant with its service in the market as long as it's solving a very real problem for their users. It's very important to listen to your users, listen to the ones that are singing your praises, find out what they love about your service, find more of those users and continue to grow. At the same time, it's important to listen to the users that are having problems with your service as well. What problems are they having? Address them, make sure other users aren't having the same problems. Looking at the data that your service is gathering is also very important. It can give you some key insights that you wouldn't otherwise be able to tell just by speaking with your user base. I think it's also very important, especially in our market, which is very new in Europe, in providing additional numbers on an existing phone. It's very important to remain lean. Some companies can go about growing too quickly, too fast, going in a direction that the users don't want it to necessarily go in. So at Swytch we have remained very lean while we find our feet. We've also been listening to our users and looking at our data. We've identified some very key target use cases that we're going to be focusing on going forward in 2017. I think the traditional relationship between OTTs and network operators has always been very delicate. The network operators have sometimes looked to stifle the innovation that the OTT services are looking to push through, and we can see that that doesn't really work. If an innovative service especially is in demand by users and is being pushed in the right way by the service provider, then it will fundamentally end up in the market. I also don't think it's very fair to paint all network operators with the same brush. We have some very positive and embracing conversations with many network operators who foresee movements in the markets and changes in users, and they want to get on board with those and support them and be part of them rather than be left behind. So the relationship right now is changing for the better. It's something that I'm very much looking forward to speaking about in more detail with other startups on the panel at MVNOs Networking Congress in November. I think the Congress is a great opportunity to bring the ecosystem together. The telecommunications industry is very reliant on every single aspect and different services that are offered. So meeting and discussing where things are going, being involved in that conversation and being able to push innovation and markets and developments, and being involved in those discussions is very, very important for all different parties of the ecosystem. I think being there with other members of the ecosystem, especially the network operators, will give us an opportunity to really get into very deep dialogue with what we're doing, where we're planning to go, and how we can work together to bring more innovation to this market, which is what fundamentally users want.